I'm here with my friend Matt Brotherton, and we are going to talk about how role-playing games have influenced, helped, or otherwise been a positive experience in his literacy development in his life. So Matt?
Hello.
How long have you been role-playing?
I would say probably close to 20 years.
And how old are you?
29.
29, so roughly when you turn 9. And we know you role-play because we role-played, well, you role-played with my husband's friends growing.
Yeah, I started role-playing with his group when I was like 16.
Yeah, and then I started role-playing with his group when we started dating. Like 12 years ago.
Yeah, it's a long time, isn't it?
Wow, that's a really long time. Oh. Okay, how would you say role-playing has affected your literacy development positively?
First of all, when you game a lot, when you play a lot of role-playing games, you have to read a lot of role-playing game books. So just the cognitive literacy development is actually, you just practice playing, of reading. So you do a lot of reading. And that's probably the biggest impact on it, is just the sheer amount of reading that's part of the process. Not to mention, you know, when you get around other people with similar interests, you start sharing books with each other.
Have you read things that you don't think you would have read otherwise if you had not role-played?
I wouldn't say that for sure. I think I've been exposed to books that I have read as a result of the people I've met through role-playing, but I'm not sure I've actually gone out and read anything other than just role-playing books.
Right.
The actual game books, the mechanics books, that I wouldn't have read without being a role-player.
How do you think it's affected you socially?
Actually, that's a big benefit for me. I'm very socially anxious as a person, but through tabletop role-playing, I got into live-action role-playing. Through live-action role-playing, I've been around a lot bigger crowds of people, a lot more people. I've learned to interact and handle situations better. I've learned diplomacy skills and problem-solving and a lot of leadership. Role-playing has a bigger benefit on my business life than on necessarily my literature life, because of the skills I've learned from LARP. I can translate into management and things in company.
Right. Which, as my class will know, we've discussed this past semester that there's different types of literacy. And one of the types of literacy is your business literacy, your situational literacy.
Oh yeah, I would say if anything was impacted directly by role-playing, by being a role-playing gamer, mm-hmm. I would say it's your technical reading skills.
Okay.
Your ability to understand actual systematic writing.
How do you think that incorporating role-playing into a classroom setting would be a positive thing?
Well, from right off the bat, it gets kids to participate more. Just flat out, right there. Kids like to pretend, and when you have children who are role-playing and pretending together, it develops a lot more of your cognitive skills. The neuroplasticity of your brain is more engaged in the act of role-playing. And even like when kids are playing like house or, right. You know, shopping mall or whatever.
Indiana Jones,
you know, swords in the backyard with their older brother. Any of that it's always good. The more you can engage a child, the more their brain is functional, the better.
If you were going to take a fictional series that you've read that's appropriate for, say, anywhere from 4th to 7th grade, and develop a classroom-oriented game,
Watership Down.
Yeah.
Any of the really big classics.
I know that for some of us also, you know, for some of us, we're stronger at the actual hack and slash games, or the games that don't require much. As he said to me earlier, there's role-playing, R-O-L-L, which is all about the numbers you roll on the dice and the power you can have and all of that. And then there's role-playing, R-O-L-E, which is all about your character development and that extension.
Well, see, I think of myself a little bit as an expert on LARP. I mean, I'm not as close to an expert as you can probably have. Got 13 years of experience running one at this point.
Yes.
But you definitely see, you have your guys who are stick jocks. You have guys who come out to events just to boffer fight, just to sword fight with each other. And then you have dramas who come out to be a character and deal in, you know. And what I love about the community is the stick jocks respect the dramas, and the dramas respect the stick jocks. And they try to bend towards each other. to make the whole better, to get the dramas to fight a little bit more.
Yeah.
Or to get the craftsmen.
And face
the people who are doing armor and clothing and the crafty people to come out and join in the drama and the fighting, and it's everybody works
together
towards.
and well, like a community. That's pretty much every question I had.
That wasn't 5 questions.
Well, that's because I never I have the 5 questions, but you know me well enough to know that I may not actually ask all 5 questions, but that we get bunny trails because
yeah, that's what happens.
I like bunny rabbit.